Hello, everyone. It has been a hot minute since last I updated. Apologies for that. I ended up moving my apartment. Welcome to my gloriously beautiful new apartment. I'm currently about 85% unpacked and settled in, which is very exciting. I have managed to land in one of my favorite neighborhoods of Chicago. Um, I've loved this neighborhood since I first moved here. So the fact that I now get to live here is wonderful. There's so much to do here. There are so many restaurants and cafes and shops and just so many interesting things to see just when you're out walking. So I'm very excited that I get to be here. Flash is excited too. He has kitchen cabinets that he can now jump up on, which reminds me, apologies for any background rumbling that you may hear. I have a dishwasher now, so I'm running my dishwasher. But yeah, so I've gotten a new apartment, which is a huge load off of my shoulders. I think my last episode or two several months ago made it clear that I was freaking out about finding a place in time, but I have, and I'm here, so that's really exciting. Um, the job hunt is going. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the last episode, possibly not, but I accepted a temporary contract at CTS to cover the president's executive assistant while she was out on leave, which was a really good decision on my part. It gave me a really solid grounding in the day-to-day realities of what executive assistanting is like. Um, and I knew that the skills required, I had all of those skill sets, but it's really nice to have the practical experience under my belt now. So when I'm looking at a list of job requirements, I can now say, oh, yes, I have done this, I have done that, I know how to do this, I can handle these shifting priorities. So it's really exciting to know that I can actually apply to jobs like that with confidence. I have had a few interviews, which is great. Um, I haven't found a job that well, of the interviews that I've done so far, I haven't found a perfect fit yet. I'm hoping that the interview that I have tomorrow on Monday will be that perfect fit. We'll see. Um, I have discovered throughout this job hunt that what I'm really looking for outside of title, salary, responsibilities, whatever, what I'm really looking for is a company with a mission. I want to work for a company that is actively doing good in the world. I'm looking for something other than just, punching numbers and pushing product. So the jobs that I'm really excited to have applied for recently, they're all nonprofits, they're all charities, education based, and I think that's the sector where I really want to push looking for a job. So it's nice to have that sense of direction. It'd be really nice if I could just get the job already. I'm not doing well with being unemployed. It is not doing great things for me mentally. It's making me very anxious. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed, and I just want to be employed already because it's only the 11th as I'm recording this, but I'm already looking ahead to the end of the month and the start of August and thinking, oh my God, I need to pay bills. How am I going to pay my bills? The obvious answer to that question is unemployment, dummy. Um, and the process of getting unemployment has been a process. Um, my license expired this past summer, and because, COVID, I couldn't just pop out and get a new one. Um, and I can't start the application process until I have a valid license. So 2 weeks ago now, and no, 1 or 2 weeks ago, not quite sure when because time means nothing, but I went to go get a license. The first place I went, which was 45 minutes away from my house, because the one closest to me they have not reopened their office yet, because why would they? That would be convenient. Anyway, the first place that I went to, the line was halfway down the strip mall. And when I approached the worker who was like processing people before they entered the building, she said, "We can't help you here. You need to go to this branch out in the middle of Bufu nowhere." That was another 45 minutes away. Chicago. But I went to this other place, got almost all the way through the process, and then didn't have quite enough money for the license fee because I'm unemployed and, I've used up my severance paying other bills. So, you can't see this on the podcast, but I'm giving the camera just this the office deadpan. Anyway, um yeah, so I went to the second place, had to terminate that process because of money. Threw my hands up in the air. It took me another hour to get home, so that was my entire day gone. Um then my aunt, my sainted aunt, came to my rescue, riding in like a white knight, and said, I can take you to the DMV out here by me. The lines will probably be shorter there. We can get you taken care of. Thumbs up, great. So I did that. This past week, I went out to visit my aunt, spent some time with them, got my license taken care of after standing in line for 2 hours, even though we went at 7:30 in the morning. But I got through the entire process. I have the license. So now I can finally apply for unemployment, which makes me feel so much better. Um, yeah, so I can finally apply for unemployment. I still have to sort out some insurance issues. So that's going to be my Monday. Just just trying to get all that taken care of so that my insurance can be paid so that, I can afford therapy and medications. And God, I hate everything. I just want a job so that I no longer have to worry about these things. But so that is a general overview of my past couple of weeks. My therapist keeps telling me that I should not let my short-term panic override my long-term goals. He keeps reminding me, you're going to have unemployment soon. You have time to find a job. You're going to be able to take care of your insurance. Even when CTS is no longer paying for it, you can apply for COBRA. Everything's going to be fine. And I know she's right. I know that. But I still have anxious monkey brain freaking out in the back of my mind like, but what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? What if I can't get it all done? What if I fail? What if, oh God, what? Have I mentioned how much I hate my anxious monkey brain? Because I really hate my anxious monkey brain. I'm doing okay, despite all of that. Despite all of my anxiety, all of my unhappiness at the fact that I'm still unemployed, that, financial concerns are starting to make me panic. I'm still doing okay. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I now have this beautiful apartment. I'm no longer living in the cave, as I called the last place. Um, I have a mattress now, like a grown-up person, which means that my sleep is getting a lot better, and it's amazing how much sleeping well is helping me. Um, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night anymore, which is amazing. I'm starting to lose enough tension that I can actually feel where the aches and pains in my body are, which is, not a pleasant sensation, but it's preferable to being a bag of rocks instead of a human being with muscles. So that's great. Um, but yeah, so everything has been in flux since March, and I am starting to come out of it. I'm going to land on my feet, which is that confidence is what's helping me get through the panic. Um, just that knowledge that I'm going to be okay. I'm gonna be fine. Even if other things fall apart in the short term, I have family who will help me. I will have unemployment shortly. Everything's gonna be okay. Just keep saying that until I believe it. In other news, um, I was talking to my sister, my Sarah sister, not my Leanne sister, but I was talking to my sister, and she turned the conversation around to me opening an Etsy shop for my flower crowns and my art and whatever other craft things catch my attention. And it's an idea that I have been toying with. I think it's something that I would like to do. Um, the thing holding me back is like, what if I open this store and nobody wants to buy anything? Uh, because I think the store is going to end up being almost entirely commission based. Um, because, I like making personalized flower crowns and I like making art that means something to other people. And also, most of the flower crowns that I've made for myself, I'm not selling. They're my flower crowns. Me, because I'm selfish. Um, anyway, but so I'm now really seriously thinking about opening up an Etsy shop. And that revenue stream would be really helpful, even if it's just, some supplemental couple $100 a month, that would be really cool. Um, because I love making flower crowns. I went to Indiana recently for my youngest niece's pre-K graduation, which is six shades of adorable. Um, but I went there with a bag of flower crown making supplies because I knew that A of all, I had to decrease my stash a little bit, and B of all, I wanted to see my nieces in flower crowns. So I went to Indiana, saw my niece graduate, which was, oh my God, tiny little children in mortar boards and robes. I was so happy. Um, and then I made them flower crowns. Like they got to pick out what flowers they wanted. I made them, put them on their heads. It was adorable. Um, I probably made the flower crowns a bit too big. Like, I like really big, bold flower crowns. I'm not very good at making the delicate little ones. So I probably overwhelmed their heads a little bit with the flower crowns that I made them, but I still thought it was cute as hell. And I like the idea of making flower crowns for other people. I think one of the big things that came out of this whole quarantine situation was screw it, wear whatever you want, put that flower crown on your head, wear the bold lipstick, dance around in your prom dress because, what else are we going to do? And making flower crowns makes me happy. Making art makes me happy. Um, Making embroidery hoops makes me happy. So, do the thing that makes you happy. And if it makes you money, then great. So it looks like I'm about to open an Etsy shop, which now that I've said that on the podcast means that I actually have to do it. Well, then, I suppose that'll keep me occupied for a little bit at least. And I'm dying for anything to keep me occupied right now because again, I don't do well with unemployment. Having all this time on my hands is starting to slowly drive me insane. It helps that I'm not fully unpacked yet. If you're watching the video, you can see this tower of boxes behind me. This, unfortunately, is the tower of boxes that I can't actually unpack because those are all books. It's about 15 boxes worth of books, which my mother, I know she's laughing at me and shaking her head right now, but this is your fault, woman. You taught me to be a bibliophile, so, you can't make fun of me for the result. It also doesn't help, incidentally, that there are neighborhood library boxes all over this neighborhood, and I am hopeless in front of a library box. Almost every time that I go for a good walk, I have come home with a book or two because I can't stop myself. I'm a bookworm. I'm a dragon whose hoard is books. But yeah, so I have to eventually buy a bookcase so that I can unpack these 15 boxes. I also have several boxes full of miscellaneous decor that I don't yet know where I'm going to put them. If I'm going to put them, they might end up getting thrown away. I don't know, or donated, preferably. Um, I have a whole, you can't see it behind the tower of boxes, but I have a whole box full of artwork, um, my own and other people's, that I'm slowly starting to hang up around the apartment. And it's really exciting to see all of this art up in my walls again. Because I didn't, with the exception of the wall in my living room, I did not hang up artwork in my old apartment. So the walls were just kind of bare and sad. And now you know, I have um, some of my favorite art pieces are in my bedroom. I have art starting to be hung up on my living room walls. Um, I plan to have art everywhere in every room except the bathroom. I might even hang up a couple pieces in the kitchen because I have a kitchen now. I have a proper full-sized kitchen with more cabinet space than I need and a dishwasher and space to actually, cook. It's really exciting. It's probably sad how excited I am about the size of my kitchen, but I embrace that level of pathetic because it makes me happy. But yeah, so I need to buy a bookcase. I need to inherit a desk from Shauna. Um, I told her that desk was not going to fit her new place. She didn't listen to me, and I ended up being right. So I told you so. Anyway, but I'm supposed to inherit a desk from her, which would be great because then I can, set up a proper office space. Right now, I am recording. So because I don't have a desk, I've been doing all of my work in my armchair, which is something that I avoided for the whole pandemic before because I knew that my brain associates the armchair with sleepy times, with YouTube binges and relaxing, and that is not conducive to job hunting. But I don't have a desk right now. I tried for about 5 days. I tried using my laptop is currently sitting on top of my grandmother's sewing machine table, but it's not big enough to serve as a desk. It's only a few inches bigger than the laptop is. So that's not enough room to get things done. And also, my cat, the noodle cat, not the demon cat, but the noodle cat has gotten into the habit of curling up on my work desk and bothering me while I'm working. And this desk is not big enough for him to do that. So I need a proper sized desk for the pair of us. And I want the books unpacked. I want to see them all on the shelves because they have also spent the past few years in boxes in my closet because I didn't have enough room for them. But this apartment is big enough that I can have proper bookcases and put all of my books on the shelf. Exciting. But yeah, all of that to say is after the absolute chaos of this past spring, getting laid off, having to find a new apartment very quickly, um, everything in my life seeming to be in flux and being torn apart, things are starting to settle. And I think I'm going to land on my feet. And hopefully that means that I can return to regularly casting my pod. So, um, thanks for holding out for the unintended hiatus. I hope I haven't lost all of you, but I'm back now. I hope to remain back. And until next week, stay safe, stay sane, and buy that piece of art that you want and put it on your walls because you deserve to have really pretty things to look at.